coming at you faster than the speed of love. It's the 1200 Films Podcast. Chuck Loaf in his house with another episode 91. Jesus. A bunch more from this year to watch, and hit and miss. Then one from last year. So let's get going. Of course, the rating scale on the bottom. Dumpster fire garbage, which moves all the way up to can't quite recommend, and then okay if desperate. Put it on your watch list, and then put it on top of your watch list. The films I watched from this year on the recent episode were disappointing, to say the least. But on this episode, we finally have some contenders. But let's discuss the first film from 2022. Speak No Evil. This got a 6.6 on IMDb. That's very high for a horror. I found out about this movie on a fellow YouTuber's. I'm forgetting her name, but she has a thing kind of like mine, and she was doing her year-end review, and she was doing her worst to best, and she gives 0 to 5 stars, and she gave this 3 out of 5, but she said it affected her. It was a movie she couldn't shake because it was so disturbing. It's like, whoa. She piqued my interest. I'm sold. So I found it on AMC Plus, and I watched this film, and she wasn't joking. If you watch this film on a Wednesday, when you are making breakfast on a Thursday, you will still be thinking about this film. When you're driving to work, you will be thinking about this film. When you're coming home from work, you will be thinking about this crazy-ass film I watched called Speak No Evil. I don't know how to describe it. This couple with their young child befriend this other couple with a young child, and while they're on vacation, and friendships are yeah, good luck. I haven't been affected this much by a movie since maybe Jamie Marks Was Dead. If you haven't seen that one, Jesus. Talk about ripping your soul out. But yeah, this one is also, it's something else. It's amazing, though. It's amazingly good. But be prepared. Definitely put it on the watch list. Speak No Evil. Now on to all 2023 films. First one, this is on a lot of people's best horror movie so far. Outwaters. 4.1 on IMDb. Found footage. I like found footage. Some are better than others. And this is probably one of the worst. Seriously. First hour is insufferable. And then it gets going, and then I'm thinking, okay, this movie's got to be about wrapping up. So I checked. Oh, no, there's 25 more minutes to suffer through. Dumpster fire garbage. The next one. Skinamarink. 5.0 on IMDb. Boy, this is divisive. This is... Halloween Ends was last year's most divisive film. I think Skinamarink is this year's most divisive film. You love it or you hate it. I'm definitely on the side of hate. You need to be on all kinds of cocaine and be jacked up on Mountain Dew and be running in place to not fall asleep during this film. There are some jump scares, sure. after 20 minutes of nothing. After 20 minutes of looking at darkness and shadows and little kids wandering around. If I stood in a corner and stared at the wall, I'd be just as bored as I was watching this film. Then if someone came by and smacked me on the back of the head every 20 minutes, oh, that's a jump scare, because that's something more than the nothing that has been happening. So can you really count it as a jump scare? When they lull you to sleep? Again, dumpster fire garbage. We got 2 contenders for worst film of the year, but they do a little better. The next one, Mandrake, 4.7 on IMDb. This probation officer she has the job of being assigned to a famous murderer named Bloody Mary, who is being paroled. And then kids start missing. Concept is good. Execution below par. Overall, it's a little long too. Therefore, can't quite recommend. It might be for some people, but it's not for me. Sorry. Oh, let's find something better. Here we go. Huesara, the Bone Woman. Huesara. 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 I hope I'm saying that right. Kitty, shut your mouth. Quiet. Huesara, the Bone Woman. This is Spanish subtitles, so turn your subtitles on. This got a 6.1 on IMDb, also pretty high. It is a... Kitty, shush, please. I'm trying to talk about Huesara, the Bone Woman. Huesara, the Bone Woman. So this woman is pregnant, and weird things start happening. And she thinks maybe she's haunted, or her kid is haunted, or she did something that she shouldn't have done. So she starts seeing these experts, and they all tell her, yeah, you got to do this and this, you got to do that and that. And all these people seem to know what they're doing, and I think they might just be making it worse. But interesting film. It's another one where kind of almost lull you to sleep, but then it like picks up, and then it goes back down, and then it picks up. And a lot better done than Skinamarink. I'm not staring at shadows. It's actually people interacting with people, not darkness. So this one, I would say, okay if desperate. It's fine. It's good. Next one, The Price We Pay. This got a 4.9 on IMDb. This has Brad Dourif and Emil Hirsch, 2 excellent actors. It's always good to see excellent actors in horror films. Of course, Emil Hirsch was excellent in The Autopsy of Jane Doe from a few years ago when he did with Brian Cox. But in this movie, they're robbing this pawn store, and they end up taking a female who was they take a female hostage, and then the car breaks down in the middle of nowhere as they're lost, and they go to this little ranch that they found, and they should have gone anywhere else in the world but there. Excellent film. Very good. Acting. Besides the main 2 guys, the rest of the actors are really bad. They're really, really bad. So you kind of have to suffer through it. When you have 2 great actors and several less than stellar actors, it's kind of obvious. But still, overall, fascinating film. Definitely put on the watch list. Very good. Very good. And now we have 2 feature reviews to cover. Let's start with the first one. This is Unwelcome.
There is one thing I need to show you, and it's a little bit peculiar. Every evening before sunset, she'd leave a blood offering here.
Sorry, did you say blood?
For who? For the red caps. They'll need feeding. They'll be hungry.
Unwelcome got a 5.2 on IMDb. Was not expecting to see the actor that plays Hodor from Game of Thrones in this. And guess what? He plays a big man who doesn't speak much. What a stretch. But his role is pretty small. But still, he's there. So this couple, young poor couple who lives in the ghetto, is getting sick of being attacked randomly. So they inherit this house out in the middle of nowhere. How many thousands of horror films have started that way? We inherited a house from a relative we barely knew or never knew. That's gosh, there's so many that are like that. But anyway, so yeah, they go to the new house, and the person that's handing the keys over is like, make sure you leave food out every night for the little people. And she's like, what? The little people, make sure you leave some meat, particularly, out for the little people at night, so they can, because they've been being fed for years and years, or else they get upset. Wow, what a journey! Yes, feed the little people, and don't go in the forest. That's the what you get from this film. Amazing. Definitely a contender for the top spot for best of 2023. Now on to the next contender for 2023. This is Sick.
Oh my God! Just one moment. Unlock the door! You have a mask, don't you? You're masked. What? I can't let you in. It's not safe. Are you kidding me, lady? Please!
Okay, Sick. Sick got a 6.0 on IMDb. Boy, this movie flies. It's 1 hour and 23 minutes, and it feels like 42 minutes. Flies by. Starts with this guy going to the convenience store, and he gets randomly attacked. I'm like, okay, is this one of those movies? At first, it kind of reminded me of The Collector. Remember that series? There was 2 movies in The Collector. There was supposed to be a third one, but COVID stopped it midway, and then people started stealing the props, and then they just gave up on making it. So, but yeah, there was supposed to be 3 Collector movies. Anyway, back to Sick. It gave that kind of vibes. So this girl, this is a COVID movie. There's been other, The Harbinger was a COVID movie, and it made me angry because it's like too soon. Wait 5-10 years, then do all the COVID movies you want. I don't care. But this is based on COVID. They're very anal about wearing masks and space and yada yada. So this girl and her friend go to this fancy cabin out in the middle of nowhere. Horror cliche number 6,436. Right after inheriting the house you didn't know you had. But anyway. And then the attacks begin. We get this intruder who's half ninja. Just trying to kill everybody. Very good. Very well made. Very action-packed. and also very brutal. Excellent film. A contender. Put it on top of the watch list, just like you put Unwelcome. Check these 2 movies out, and then get back to me on what you think. And whatever you do, don't watch Skinamarink. Don't watch the Outwaters, because they're poop. Poop on a stick. Frozen poop on a stick. So, I have no idea. Well, I'm going to be doing Knock at the Cabin on the next one. That's about the only one I know for sure. Oh, and this Artifice girl that everyone's talking about. Sounds like another AI movie, like another Megan. So, we'll see. Expectations are low. So, until next time, see ya.